Perhaps our disguised portraits represent the unconscious processes of transference and countertransference. Our portraits appear masked, peering out from behind shadows and obstructions, sometimes catching a glimpse of something familiar, in self or in other, or sometimes glimpsing nothing at all. All that remains is this feeling. I sensed the pressure of your fingertips on the opposite side of the canvas, and sensed your presence, despite not being able to see you.
I would like to protect you, but I know you don't need it. You looked so nice and made up today, a blushing bride. I became aware of my maternal countertransference towards you. When I look at the image from a distance, it looks like a wrinkled old woman. Is that really me? You said you felt the pressure of my fingers on the paper. I stroked the paper as though I were massaging a face. Your face, my face, like I do it for my daughter. I can see you and I can't. I can't see you and I can't even see myself. I'm behind the veil. I'm in my own space. But this is a co-creation. Then how much was co-created? I felt you were there, but I didn't feel who you really were. Once you lift the veil, do you really see what you expect to see? Should I share this letter with you? If I share my narrative, my transference with you, am I taking something away from you? Am I putting my projections and transference on you and taking your privacy away from you? I must respect you the way you are. I don't want to upset you.
Both of our images continue to hide, covered up, protected, and guarded. What are we hiding from? I want to go on your side of the image and carve away the paint so that you can see me. I want your approval. I respect and I need your approval. I feign security, but despite my efforts, my artwork screams vulnerability. It screams emptiness, longing, fear. What am I so scared of? You? Me? Loss? I'm left thinking, I am here. I see you. I want to be seen, yet I am afraid.
Thank you for supporting me today. I felt that you too were taking care of me. There was a sadness about these women. There was a young woman with downcast eyes who cried. Then she opened her eyes and gradually became the skinny, confident woman who looks right in the eyes. Then she was covered by a burqa. The image was constantly moving and evolving. The image of the woman was not static. She evolved and changed just like we do. Our self-portraits change over time.
I wanted to cover the darkness, but attempts at spraying the canvas with translucent bright hues produced a water-like effect that evoked thoughts of washing away, cleansing, and tears. Sometime during this process, our images began to coexist. The young woman cried and then merged and unfolded into the image of a veiled woman. As our inherent trust in our process and our trust in one another grew, we gradually became more aware of our efforts to open up, while simultaneously being compelled to protect ourselves.
Why have I never talked to you? You're right here, I can see you. Before, I knew you were there, but I did not talk to you. The mummy is covered under layers and layers and layers in an attempt to preserve life. What happens if we allow her to die? Maybe something new will emerge. I cleared away old cells so that you could create. I scraped away the paint while you were painting. The mummy died, and the woman emerged. What do you think is going to happen next?
Growing up, my parents had a large painting in their living room of a leafy tree. My dad always claimed to be able to see a face among the tree's leaves and branches, but I never saw it. I strained my eyes for years wanting to see what my dad saw. In this image, I'm reminded of that painting, only this time I see the face. Thank you, Victoria. Thanks for reminding me of home, and thank you for providing the face that I needed to see.
I missed it today. I became so emotional and cried when I thought about you and what you were going through. I had a very hard time getting started and realized that our working together really tapped into the transference. I made an image of a mother and a child, which made me realize the depth of the maternal transference. I know that you're not going to be gone forever, but on an emotional level, I felt very distressed. Behind it, I think, is the fear of the loss of a child.
I am feeling so overexposed. I cannot help feeling vulnerable, emotionally depleted, and empty. My image depicts a bird being dissected, splayed and trapped for all to see. In a way, I feel like my every action and reaction is being examined and scrutinized. Is she okay? She seems distracted. Oh, look, she's been crying. I made this image while absent from class. Although I was physically absent, I still felt everyone's watchful gaze within my hollowed chest.
Our images remind me of the persona and the shadow. Mine is the shadow aspect that peeks through, maybe revealing itself in the dreams or the unconscious. The two images look quite different when I look at them separately, yet again, put together, they merge and coexist. Now that we put the images back together, I see the picture as collaborative, creative, and more complete, having both aspects of persona and shadow, of rational and intuitive.
As you can see, there are many other selves competing for my attention. Although I cannot specifically identify these other portraits, I imagine they are student, child, caregiver, monster, sadness, want, and many more. I had not realized the darkness of your image. I too have many dark, distorted, scary images of myself, all floating around in my head. Feeling as though I have to be everything to everyone is exhausting, and also, ironically, dehumanizing. Together, the images are beautifully haunting, corpse-like, but buzzing with energy and life at the same time. For now, beginnings and endings are dominating my existence. However, I do not want to waste or ignore the beauty existing in the in-between, the present. Our joint art making is a moment of meeting where this ground and focus can happen. My image is a creepy eye. It is messy. I feel messy. Our images remind me of reflections, straining to see my own reflection and to also see you. But only the tearful eye stares back. No witnesses, not even each other. Our presence, your presence, has waned. I feel disoriented. I paint with my fingers and continue my mess making. Why aren't you engaging with me? Pay attention to me. Don't just stare. I want to be equal. I want you to work with me.
Today I made a realistic self-portrait. I saw you make a black circle right in the middle of my face, so I looked like a clown. I really did not like the way it looked, but I didn't do anything to change it. Your paint dripped and my portrait looked quite ugly. Then I made a circle around me. Did I try to protect myself? Did I try to contain you? Or contain myself? I don't know. I just sat there and observed your picture emerge and change. I wonder if I took the mommy role, trying to contain the experience and support you. In the end, you cleaned up the mess, and I did not help you. I wonder what that's all about. The image of the stork came to me and stayed with me. It symbolizes death, but also rebirth. The bird is a messenger between life and death. There is no life without death. I've been thinking about you and your dad a lot, and your resilience and calm, and how you're able to keep it together. And how it's necessary now, so you can continue to plan the wedding and finish this quarter. Some containing to do.
I am longing to simultaneously hold and be held by my dad. I'm a baby, his baby. I do not always have to play the grown-up, the caretaker. My transference towards your motherliness reminded me that it was okay to be needy. Need does not always equal weakness. Admitting need can sometimes be a strength. I wonder if your bird theme is your acceptance of the dark and light aspects of motherhood, embracing the role of mother as, at times, the relinquishing of self for others, an offering that can be both exhausting and detached from self, yet validating, comforting, and powerful. Thank you, Victoria, for providing me with your mothering even when I rejected you, but needed you. You have brought me home to my existence in this moment.